What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new Major Bayonetta gaming video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. Today we got a bit of Nintendo news that might seem small, but is actually pretty significant and important going into their next generation of consoles. So that is the fact that they have acquired the Hogwarts Legacy studio, not the actual studio Portkey Games, but the developer that ported the Switch version to the Switch, which is a huge achievement, has significant downgrades, obviously, but they have acquired them. So let's read into this. So Nintendo ADR has announced the acquisition of Shiver Entertainment, the team responsible for the Nintendo Switch ports of popular games like Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1. Now, when I first heard that this team was doing Hogwarts Legacy, I was a little bit concerned because Mortal Kombat was not the best Switch port, but they've obviously sorted themselves out and they did an incredible job with Hogwarts Legacy. According to a press release, Nintendo has agreed with Embracer Group, unsponsored ADR, to buy 100% of Shiver's shares, turning the Miami-based company into a wholly owned subsidiary. Shiver, established in 2012, has built a reputation for partnering with publishers and developers on large-scale projects. Nintendo noted by welcoming Shiver's experience and accomplished development team, Nintendo aims to secure high-level resources for porting and developing software titles. Even after joining Nintendo, Shiver will continue focusing on porting and developing software for multiple platforms, including the Nintendo Switch. This move comes shortly after Nintendo announced plans to reveal its Switch successor within the fiscal year, which ends on the March 31st, 2025. While today's announcement doesn't mention the new console, it hints at Nintendo's preparations for its future lineup. Shiver is known for porting games like Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat 11, and Mortal Kombat 1, along with developing Scribblenauts Showdown. Although ports like Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 11 were well received, Mortal Kombat 1 port faced considerable criticism, as we just said on this video. So I want to talk about this because this is important. What I'm gonna do is I want to bring up some Switch gameplay versus, let's just do PC, make it the worst case, and we're going to use this YouTube channel here. So shout out to this guy. Let's just put this on that and mute this for a second. Let's put this on the highest settings that it goes to, and we're just going to kind of leave this video here because, well, as you can see, that's the Switch version versus the PC versions. This is worst case of what you'd expect, at least at 1080p. And as you can see, although it is vastly different, it is actually incredibly similar. Like, this isn't something you would normally have back in the day with the old Harry Potter games, where you'd have a PlayStation 2 version of the game, you'd have a PC version of the game, you'd have a sometimes a PS1 version of the game that was also on PS2, and everything would be so different, the game would not even look the same anymore. Like, do you remember when we would get like Call of Duty on the Nintendo DS, and you'd think, this is interesting, and then you get the game and it's like a top-down, that's not an exact example, but I'm just giving an example of the sort of thing that happened back in the day. You just have like a top-down version that just looked terrible. But as you can see, this is the same game, the same open world, vastly scaled back, yes, but at the end of the day, you are actually able to play this game on the Switch. Now, why this is so important is because going into Switch 2, we are going to see more and more games needed of decent ports going to that system. We are getting very decent specs on the Switch 2, but it is not going to be something that can just instantly run basically very similar graphic settings to what you can on the PC. So it's going to need to be scaled back, and having a studio with this sort of team making this decent of a scaled back port is going to be crucial. Like, this shouldn't even be possible on the Switch. Most like devs would never have even wanted to attempt this because it's such a big demanding game. Even on PC, major stutter issues. On console, stutter issues as well. Not so bad on the consoles, but PC has very major stutter issues. As you can see, even in Hogwarts, you can tell it's the same castle, right? Yes, it's scaled back graphically, but there's enough detail there for you to know. Like, the portrait images still move. They may be obviously a far lower resolution, we're only at 30 FPS, but you can certainly tell this is the same game. And that just speaks wonders. So having this studio on board for getting future games, like, or even current games that we've seen, like, for example, Avatar recently that we've got, that's a very graphically demanding game, having that with this studio scaled down to be able to run on the Switch is just going to be good, because I've always said one of my main reasons for the purchase of the Nintendo Switch was specifically the fact that I saw Skyrim running on that console in their original trailer. And that was the first time, because we didn't have Steam Deck, we didn't have Asus ROG Ally or anything like that. This was the first time you could take a big game like Skyrim on the go. Not long after, we had big games like The Witcher announced for Switch. Like, it was incredible that we were actually going to be able to take these very, very big games on the go with us and enjoy these games. And that's what's been missing, in my opinion, from the Switch recently. We haven't had the option to do that. There is no Red Dead 2 on there. There is none of the Star Wars Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order games that we're getting. You are missing out. If you only have a Switch currently, you are missing out on a vast amount of games that are coming to the other platforms, and this is something that is going to reduce their sales. So going forward, having a lot of these games coming to Switch is going to not only please the casual customers who might just want to play the Mario games, it's going to please the more dedicated gamer people who actually are thinking, well, maybe I don't buy a PlayStation 5, maybe I don't buy an Xbox, because the Switch is getting all these big titles now. Yeah, they may be slightly scaled back, like less than we're seeing on screen here, but they're playable. They now have upscaled to 1440p on the TV, and potentially they are using DLSS in the end of the day, and DLSS is much better than FSR. They may have a frame generation option. We don't know. We've got to wait and see when it comes out. But just having the option to even play these games, and if seeing these games come to these platforms, may actually help people. So we may get full versions of FIFA going forward on the Switch, because I know that's been a lot of... I used to do live streams of FIFA. That's how my channel originally blew up. I used to play FIFA on Nintendo Switch, and that's why people watched me, because I was doing something different. It was a different version of the game, but it would be better if they just had the full-fledged FIFA game on Switch. That would be much better. But as you can see, this studio did great work. There may be frame drops on the Switch down below 30, but that's kind of to be expected on a big game like this. But Switch 2 going forward is vastly more powerful and up to date than the first Switch was. You've got to remember, the Tegra hardware in this thing was years out of date before the Switch even launched. The Tegra hardware has been around for like 5 years before, I think, something crazy like that. So at the end of the day, we've got more updated hardware with better features. Big one is the upscaling DLSS, because that is literally what carries the consoles with FSR at the moment. The PS5 and Series X, they need this sort of stuff like FSR. So having DLSS on the Switch is just going to be a huge thing. So I'm excited to see what happens with it. But thank you so much for watching this video. Do leave a like, do subscribe if you are new to the channel to stay up with all the latest news. I try and talk about everything that I can per video. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in future ones. Bye bye for now.